So guys, now I'm going to do a little bit of sacrum release. I like a little bit of release movement in between action, okay? Particularly if I feel that you may or have not tightened certain part of the body. And it's also good for you to understand which hips feels more open and more stable. So I'm going to ask you to take one of the little ball at the bottom of the sacrum. I'm going to take the ball around the right sacroiliac joint, right buttock, okay? So really in the middle, more towards the right. And so you're going to have one hip higher and one hip lower. I'm going to keep the feet very grounded, and ideally the knees not collapsing inwards and out or outwards, okay? Now we start really gathering strength and stability on the right leg, and we're gonna press to the left foot, and we're just gonna use the left inner thighs, left back leg, left buttocks to lift the hip gently up and down, slowly. That's it. You're gonna drop it down and lift it upwards, and again, keeping the waistline long, drop the hip, and again, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, and down. So you're keeping the back body open, again, drop it, and lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, and down. So yes, it's a massage on one side, a stretch on one side, but also gathering your stability on the other side of the leg. That's it. I'm going to take the ball away, you're going to place the ball in between the inner thighs. You're going to gather the feet backwards, okay? Famous pelvic tilt, everything, both yoga and Pilates are giving you different type of pelvic tilt. Pilates gives you an enormous variety of pelvic tilt, okay? I'm going to ask you to be very relaxed into upper part of your body to start with, then I'm going to work it. Now, you're lengthening your chest, and you're letting your feet go round. Now your knees are coming to the middle of the circle, and your heels are sliding backwards. You're sliding backwards an imaginative resistance, okay? And you're also using the resistance on between the inner legs and the back of the legs. Imagine you have those little balls at the back of the knees. Now, you start lifting the pelvis up only when you start expanding the chest, the sternum, the front heart. So again, pelvis would like to come up a little bit more. You say no to that until your collarbones are widening a lot. Your collarbones are becoming wider and wider and wider and wider. The pelvis lengthens, and you're now going to interlock your fingers, bringing the bottom tip of the shoulder blades gently towards one another. The first thing is to be happy to jab the ribs out. If you can avoid that, would be great. You bring in the shoulder blades together, your heart expands, and now as your heart is expanding, you are gathering the same amount of resistance between the left and the right arm. The stretch of the arms is full. Good. Now you are keeping the length of the sternum, you are releasing the intertwined of your palms, and as you're keeping your heart open and your legs active, you start lengthening the pelvis down slowly, keeping your trunk long. That's great. Beautiful. Slowly. That's it. Bring in that stability. You're keeping the ball in between your inner legs. You're placing your palms by the side. You're stretching at the front of the collarbone and the sternum. Ideally keeping the eye of the elbows facing upwards from the under armpit skin open and the palms rolling down if you have enough space. You're going to take it gently, using the breath, both legs towards one side, using the in-breath, dragging the femur in the socket, bringing the legs back to center, and again, legs towards the other side. That's it. Using the breath in to bring the legs back to center. Ideally, your shoulders are not moving. So as your legs are now completely coming down towards your right side, you're gonna bring your left arm upwards. And when I say upwards, I really mean you start taking your arm away from your hips and your pelvis, lengthening all the way up from your hips and groins. Ideally your pelvis, and again even your feet are going to be down unless you keep, want to work more on strength and relaxation. At the end, this pose should also be very relaxing. And you start breathing across the side of the body. I'm asking you to elongate with the breath. So first we kind of anchor the pelvis and we anchor the arms, and then we follow the breath. First we breathe on the hip, and we use the hand as a feedback. The hand is becoming like feedback. You're breathing on that side, and then you're moving gently the arm a little bit higher around the hips, away from the hips into the ribs. You're breathing around the middle of the trunk. You're expanding the side of the ribs. Usually if you're right-handed, the left side doesn't want to open so much. And then you're going to breathe at the bottom of the under armpit skin of that left side. Good. You are hugging the legs inwards, rolling the legs back to center. That's great. You are switching the little ball on the opposite side. Sometimes if we don't have the ball, we can even use both hands folded one above the other underneath the sacrum, okay? But as we have the little props are very, very good, okay? But as I repeat, both hands underneath one part of the sacrum is a good alternative if you don't have enough props. Now you're keeping again, first you are assessing your body. If you're feeling any discomfort on the sacroiliac joint, please let me know. I'm gonna realign your feet and your knees, and you start basically the same process you did before. You're hugging, you're lifting, and then you're bringing it gently down. The idea is to sink the pelvis, make the chest and the heart very open, and then you're lifting up, and then you're dropping it down again. Good, and again you're lifting the pelvis up. You're breathing in, and then you're dropping it down again. Good, and again, one more time, you're lifting the pelvis up. You're dropping it down again. Notice the difference in stability of your knees and hips and strength. Now, using the strength of that leg, you're lifting the pelvis up. That's it. Once your pelvis is up, try not to come down, because the way your pelvis area came up was via the stability of your legs, not the compression of your back. Now you are squeezing the ball, and remember, your knees are coming forwards, your feet are sliding backwards. And now imagine again, you are squeezing the inner hamstrings and the inner legs, and your pelvic floor muscle moves gently inwards and upwards. I shouldn't see anybody tightening the abdomen, but lengthening like a vacuum the front abdominal wall into the back ribs. Your chest is open. Your collarbone is open, and now you can go for your arms behind, changing your favorite or dominant intertwined, getting the fingers to hug towards one another. Ideally the wrists are touching, but is not necessary if it doesn't happen easily. Keeping your head in alignment. I know we have the tendency of always looking around around us, what happens around us, and we don't concentrate enough in ourselves. So see if you can concentrate more on yourself. That's it. Now slowly, as you're keeping your chest open, lengthen your pelvis down. Good. Again, with your arms by the side, eye of the elbows upwards, palm turning down and pressing down. Do again the little twist side to side. Your chest is wide and open. Your arms are working. Your trunk is lengthening as you are squeezing that ball, and you're going leg side to side. And then you're gently coming back to center. Try to keep your trunk long. And now you're taking both legs towards the opposite side. So you're going to take it towards the left side. You're going to take your right arm all the way away. Now you know the length is coming. Hip, back ribs, underarms. And you're stretching your fingers away, you're stretching your hips away. You're using the anchoring of the lower limbs and the length of the arm to create that full expansion. Okay, sometimes having someone that can help you with the stretch is actually very beneficial. Okay, in particular if you feel like you need to have that extra support. And then you are breathing across the side of the waist, around the hips area, and then you're breathing around the middle trunk, and then you're breathing around the under armpit skin area as you're really stretching those back rib cage. Okay, beautiful. Lengthen the pinky, lengthen the elbow. Oh, take a last breath there and slowly release. In breath, come back to center, bring your knees in alignment. Perfect. Stretch your legs away, squeezing the block so the legs are working. Inner knees hugging in, rooting down. Strengthen the legs and roll yourself out. That was great. Nice and easy from everybody. Perfect.